the connection in this studio is a lot better than where I stay at. And I'm going to work out, and I'm going to do a little minor work here I've been putting off. So not a big deal for me to be here. So let's get to it. Why we pre-book our class. Looks like we got people coming in. Good. Pre-booking classes. Now that's when you see this in a lot of gyms, and you see this in a lot of dance studios do it too. You have to pre-book. Even though you paid for a class, you paid for a subscription, a monthly enrollment, whatever it is. Some business asks you, please let me know when you're coming in. And there's various reasons for that. Now, recently we've been doing this because it's because of health. Right? So the top one is health. We have a capacity limit. We got to make sure we don't go over capacity. We got to make sure that everyone can be socially distanced. So that's number one. That's the top reason. So when we get to that, that's what everyone thinks. But a little history, this was going to happen before the pandemic. And a lot of people got a little testy about it in the beginning. But it was going to happen. I saw it now the martial art industry is unique. Martial arts, dance, yoga, we all kind of fall in this weird category. We're kind of lumped with fitness sometimes, but we're not fitness programs by the state of Florida. We're lumped into wellness, but then dance doesn't really go into that. We're into character building like martial art. So it's a whole mixed bag of stuff. So our classification gets kind of in between there. But we use the same procedures and bookings that gyms do. And gyms do this. When you sign up for a membership, they want to know when you're coming in so they know how to accommodate you. Now, so that's where that history comes in. That's where I'm starting out with that. So that was going to happen in the martial art and yoga industry. They've been using it for a while, and the dance studio's been using it for a while, but it was going to happen in martial arts eventually. This just kind of jump-started it, especially now. Hey, Holt. So now we get to the reasons, okay? So we got into the history of it, why this is happening. It was going to happen either way, and I explained it to some people when we started to reopen last May, and they were kind of a little testy about it, because they had to take time out of their day to book a class. And I was like, but I paid for it. And I said, yes, you did, but I got to know when you're coming in. If you run a business, you got to do payroll, you got to do things. So top one, health, period. We don't want to go over capacity. We don't want to put too many people on a mat that we can't accommodate. If I didn't know who was coming in and I didn't set a limit, obviously, if we could only put like 15 people, let's say, on one area to socially distance and make it safe for them, and 30 people show up because we didn't allow a booking, we got a problem. So how do you pick which 15 get to go and which 15 have to wait? And so that was the main issue. Okay, that's the main number one issue, I would say. But my number three is the one I personally like the best. Okay, so number two, why make people pre-book when they have a membership, right? Responsibility. In the martial arts, we're supposed to teach responsibility, self-reliance. Now, sometimes the links go out, and maybe the parents don't understand them because, there's a language barrier, and we can only do so much translating in Spanish, and we have solutions for that. But one of the things we do is we say, hey, you're an old enough, to the child, you can help mom and dad out, and we explain to them why this is important. It's your responsibility to let us know when you're coming in. And the parents understand that when we do it that way. So we make the older child go through the whole, like, every week, you got to book your classes for the week. If you're not going to come Thursday, don't book that day. Book the days you're going to come in. Okay, so we make you responsible. And when you make yourself responsible, the people are more serious because now they have to think, instead of like if it was open registration and you can show up whenever you want, which is kind of like what we do, we just ask you to let us know when you're coming in, then the attitude is a little different. It's like, well, I didn't make it today, I'll go tomorrow. I didn't make it today, I'll make it tomorrow. And then for us, that presents a problem later, which we'll go to number three. So it makes you responsible. You take it more seriously. And I tell you, ever since we did the pre-booking, the classes were better because people said, okay, we got to go today. I've already booked it. We've already booked for the rest of the week. We're off on Thursday, or we're not coming Wednesday. And they're more serious about it, and you're going to get better results because of that. So And we do ask, like, if you're not going to come that day, just text the studio, say, hey, I can't make it today, and then we'll take you off the list. And then that way we know what's going on. Okay, so the last one, number 3, top reason. Personally, it's my favorite. Efficiency. It makes the studio efficient, the business efficient. The classes are better. We know who and how many are coming. And why does it make it efficient? Before pre-booking, some days would be real busy and some days would not. And then we think, okay, this day's usually not busy. We didn't need as much staff. And then all of a sudden, that day flip-flopped to being the busy day. And the other day, we had too much staff and it wasn't big because just chaos. We don't know who and when is coming. Even though, you can come to any class you want. But leading back to number 2, it wasn't as serious. And now that we require it, we go through a report every afternoon. Okay, X amount at this time slot, X on this mat, X on that mat, X on this time slot. Okay, light on this one. We only need 1 assistant. Okay, now the business is efficient. The studio is efficient. When it's efficient, the quality is high. When the quality is high, the product is good, the classes are better, the results are better. Now, the results I talked about level 2. Part 2, the results are better for the member, but then in part 3, the results are better for us when we produce the results for the member. So it's twofold. So by having everyone pre-book, I know exactly who's coming, and our classes run smoother now. Because now I say, we have this one child coming in, he struggles with this one area. Okay, there's going to be a couple kids in that class. Let's put an assistant here versus on the other mat. Okay, or like some of our classes, like the early classes, are kind of a mixed bag now. It's mostly younger kids. So if we don't have enough older kids, instead of like running 2 split classes where one class has 3 and the other one has 10, we'll just say, hey, let's teach it together. Just run the classes together, 2 main instructors and maybe an assistant if we need it. The class runs smoother, the results are better, the kids will get a better result. Now for my fitness classes, what's great about it is kickboxing and the adult self-defense, they're packed. They're getting busy. That's never happened before pre-booking. Now pre-booking has made them take it more seriously, and the results are getting better. They're losing their weight. They're getting fit. They're feeling good about themselves. The kids are taking more responsibility with their training. The parents are being responsible with the children. So that's why we pre-book. It's not to take time out of your day. And honestly, we have time. We just don't think we have time. 5 minutes on a Sunday or early Monday, you book your classes. I see Doris here. She's already booked her classes for the week, I saw. So outstanding. We appreciate that. And, that's what it's about. So that's my top 3. Thanks for joining me. I'll post this later on YouTube, and you'll get on all the other channels. Have a great one, guys. We'll see you soon.